Hello, my name is Nate Williams with Practice Financial Group. My firm manages the retirement plans for the office where you work. As you know, you have a 401k plan, but you may not know that there has also been a cash balance plan for the office as well, which is just a different type of retirement plan. The purpose of this video is because we are in the process of shutting down the cash balance plan, and therefore you are going to receive a distribution of money from the plan. Along with the link to this video, you've also been provided distribution paperwork, which is kind of complicated. And so if you have any questions, this video is intended to help answer those questions for the paperwork. So let's jump right in and get started. The distribution election paperwork is kind of, it's long. There are 18 pages that you were provided. The purpose of that is that these plans are regulated by the federal government, and there are a lot of federally regulated disclosures that need to be made, and it's all included herein. My job right now is to point to you to what I think are the most important things, and then also to offer some support and help in filling out the paperwork. So as this says right here, you are entitled to receive an immediate lump sum. That means receive all of the money from the cash balance plan right now, or an annuity starting on this date. The annuity is you're going to get paid out in equal monthly payments for the rest of your life. It says right here, if you elect an immediate or deferred annuity option, an annuity will be purchased on your behalf. Once the annuity is purchased, the insurance company who sells the annuity, not the plan, will be responsible for paying your benefit. So your options are, let's say you have $10,000 in the plan. Your options are to receive a rollover of $10,000, or you can take that $10,000 and purchase an annuity from an insurance company. I highly recommend that you take the money and roll it over. Right now, we're terminating the plan. So if you're receiving this, you're not receiving this because you're retiring, but the plan is terminating. And so I definitely recommend that you just take a distribution of the money and roll it over into your existing retirement plan or the 401k plan of the office. It says here it's your responsibility to consult with your own lawyer, estate planner. So basically, you're responsible for what you do here. My intent is to help you, and I hope I can do that. All of these forms right here, these 6 forms, we're going to go over right now. The first one is an IRS special tax notice. That's a lot of fun. And it says right here, all or a portion of the payment you are receiving from the plan is eligible to be rolled over to an IRA or an employer plan. That is my advice, is to roll it over into the existing 401k plan, which is the employer plan. It says you will be taxed on a payment from the plan if you do not roll it over. And so the whole purpose of the retirement planning and these plans is the government will defer taxes. We want them to defer taxes as long as possible. If you do not roll it over, you'll be taxed on the money right now. Definitely not recommended. It says you may roll over the payment to either an IRA or the employer plan. If you do a direct rollover, you will make the payment directly to your IRA or the employer plan. If you do not do a direct rollover, the plan is required to withhold 20% of the payment for federal income tax purposes. So if you take a lump sum distribution and you bring that home, the third-party administrator, EGPS, whose name is all over this paperwork, they are required by law to withhold at least 20% for federal income taxes. So that's a big reason why I'm saying don't take the money home, don't get the annuity, just roll it over into the retirement plan and continue to save and accumulate money for your retirement. Let's see, going on. If you're under the age of 59 and a half and you take the money home to spend it, you will pay the taxes plus an additional 10% income tax on any early distributions. So another reason we want to avoid that. And so by rolling it into the plan, you avoid the taxes right now and you avoid this 10% penalty. So moving on, this notice does not describe any state or local income taxes, but those do apply if you take the money home. and then blah, 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 blah. You can read through this if you want. I read through it all. I think what I covered is the most relevant part, and then sign and date it at the end, acknowledging that you did receive this. Form number 2, election for distribution of benefits. So here's an important thing. Again, you've got 2 options. Do I roll it over into an IRA or into the employer plan, in other words, the 401k plan, or do I take the money and purchase an annuity from an insurance company and then get an annuity for the rest of my life? It says, if you're married, your spouse must consent to the election by signing the consent of spouse form, and the consent must be witnessed by a notary public. So I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But if you select not to do the annuity option, your spouse needs to consent, and that needs to be notarized. So this is kind of a little bit of a pain, but is required. So here's the Form 2, continued election for distribution of benefits. It says here, I elect my annuity to start on, I'm saying NA, cross it off, don't do this. I definitely recommend you do not purchase an annuity at this point in time. If when you're ready to retire, you decide to purchase an annuity at that point in time, that could be a more reasonable decision. Doing that now, not the best financial decision. You can elect a lump sum distribution. If you do the lump sum distribution, you're going to be required to pay the taxes and the early withdrawal penalty now, so not recommended. Here's the one I recommend. I elect a direct rollover of 100% of my benefit. That's definitely what I would do and what I recommend to almost everybody who's listening to this video, with very rare and few exceptions. Right here, the marital status and personal information. So this is just asking about who you are. Who the beneficiary is. So it says a qualified joint and survivor annuity benefit. If you are married, your spouse must consent to the election not to receive the qualified joint and survivor annuity benefit. And I'm recommending that you don't receive that annuity. And so right here, are you married or are you not married? My beneficiary's name. If you're married, this is just the name, Social Security, date of birth, and relationship of your spouse. If you're not married, then you'll want to indicate who your other beneficiary would be to receive this money in the case that you die. Your social, your date of birth right here, your home mailing address, phone number, email address. And then right here, under penalty of perjury, there is no domestic relations order or qualified domestic relations order. That means you're going through a divorce currently, and there exists a qualified domestic relations order, meaning your spouse has a legal claim on some of these retirement assets. So if that's you, that you are going through a divorce and there is this qualified domestic relations order, you need to let us know right away. So sign this right here. This goes on to an explanation of the qualified joint and survivor annuity form of benefit. Go ahead and read this if you'd like. But I'm definitely recommending that you waive that joint and survivor annuity. Again, like I said, if you want an annuity later in life, no problem. Get one when you're about to retire, but not now. That would be a lesser financial decision if you're still working. And right here, this consent of spouse, this is where your spouse needs to date, sign, in the presence of a notary public. So this you need to get notarized. You could easily find a notary at your bank. That's probably the easiest way to do it, is to go into your bank and have them notarize it. Form number 3, direct rollover instructions. This is what I'm definitely recommending, is that you do a direct rollover. And I would say 100% of your benefit. And my recommendation is right here to do a direct rollover to the eligible qualified employer's plan. So if you're watching this video, your employer has a 401k plan. I recommend just taking this money, moving it into the 401k plan, which will boost your retirement savings in the 401k plan. And then right here, write the name of the plan. We'll provide that to you. Address to send check. You don't want to get a check. They're going to withhold taxes. So you don't want that. And then sign and date right here. Federal and state tax withholding election. This is not applicable if you do the direct rollover into the employer plan. If you want to take the money home as a lump sum distribution, you want to spend it now, then you can, and you need to fill out all of this tax withholding form, which is this Form 4, and then you need the Form W4R and the W4P if you're doing tax withholding. So I don't recommend you deal with any of this stuff, just do the direct rollover. And then this Form 5 waiver of 30-day consideration period. This means that you can make the decision and then you have 30 days to rethink it. And if you sign this, you're waiving that 30-day consideration period. And then election to defer benefits. Deferring benefits means I don't want to take the benefits now. I just want to wait longer. You do not want to do that. The plan is shutting down right now. And so you definitely want to get your money out as soon as possible and roll it into the 401k plan. So that's the end of the paperwork. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And until then, I hope this is helpful. Thank you.